wish it would turn back on.
Yes. Well, anyway.
Hey guys.
Hi, we're back. Like we said before, we decided to split the video up so we wouldn't have as much on one video. So, welcome to...
We understand these get long.
It can get long, especially...
No
yes.
reason.
Except for this time where it is a raisin.
Yes,
it's a lot of stuff
yes.
to talk about. Yes.
So, over to the English product releases, because we finally have those. We might have mentioned them before, actually.
Maybe glanced over them. We haven't really talked about anything.
But no, yes. Now they are solidified. So, we still have our extra boosters 4 and 5 coming up soon. How soon? A month or so. Whatever.
About a month for the sneak peek, and then they actually get released in like September 6th or something.
We honestly have no clue how that sneak's even going to work. Like,
Yep.
are they going to give you whatever set you want, or half and half? Who knows?
No, but I'll be so pissed, and I will jump over the table and choke somebody for their battle sisters.
Yeah,
yes.
And the fromage mat is a thing. Man.
Yep, I'm going to reach over the table for that too.
Well,
freaking scissor choke somebody.
Debut Battle Sisters as a proper deck. And by proper deck, it's like, here are the bare minimum. Have fun.
But I found a way to make that bare minimum work enough. It took some experimenting, but we'll talk about that when the actual stuff comes out and I can make the deck proper.
It's just kind of weird because Booster 9 came out after this in Japan and effectively boosted the deck with cookie and cream. Like, by itself, this set wouldn't have been much, so I guess it's good that they're coming out in the order they are.
Yeah, it makes sure that everything you need to make the deck work is out that way.
Reprint of Tom, reprint of Chocolat, so, a lot of people are happy. Deck becomes a bit more budget. Plan becomes a bit more budget, I should say. Because there are multiple decks.
Yeah.
Reprint of Kogo for all of you. You know who you are out there.
You soulless bastards.
Yeah. And then a bunch of other stuff that doesn't really matter a whole lot because you should have trial decks by now.
Should be in the key word.
And who really cares about Death Armies? Really?
As far as I can tell, one person does.
Oh, they're not terrible.
It's true. They aren't like terrible.
You can ramp up that Vanguard land to crazy numbers, and with a critical, it matters. It's just kind of boring.
Weird is all. Like, I don't know why 2 X boosters at once. At least for a sneak peek point of view. It's like, what do you do?
They are cards.
They are definitely cards. Anything in particular that you wanted to mention, people who don't know, that come out in these things? Other than the Battle Sisters stuff?
I'm pretty sure they were like the only new cards in there, and everyone was
I'm
mad
mostly
at the time.
talking about the one nobody talks about.
Fromage? What?
Extra booster 4, Elliot. Yes.
Well, Death Army Pawn is actually pretty nice. You Rest an Overgrappler, I think, or maybe it was just a Death Army unit. Oh, whatever. And it gets +2. This is a first Vanguard, by the way, so it's there, and as long as it doesn't get retired by something, you can make pretty big lines with it at effectively no cost because there are a bunch of main phase standing abilities being added to that family of cards too. Nothing to really complain about.
They should have put a Battle Sister K clone in there.
Well,
would have been good.
Pacifica didn't get hers.
The closest I'll have to do is Maple, then I guess it's effectively the same thing anyway. Sorta.
Yeah, I am
Yes.
not heavily invested in these extra boosters myself, just because I
Yes,
have everything
because
already.
you don't play Battle Sisters, and we don't care about Death Army.
Nope.
Or should I say Army?
Just Army.
And speaking of that, freaking season 2 finally ended in the dub.
It did. It made about as much sense as season 2 will ever make. And acting everywhere.
So much acting. God damn, season 2.
5 out of 10 would not watch again. Unfortunately, we did.
We did.
Because 2 different languages. But
Yeah,
hey, it's a vast improvement on the original, if you ask me.
It's...
They tried to fix plot
Hamminess
holes.
aside, they do fix up the story. And they do make Aichi whiny even more when Kai gets teleported back. It was such a big deal after all.
Undertones, overtones, whatever you want to call them, they're still there. You just... Nobody's acting like anyone's dead. Thankfully.
No, although it does make...
Moving on.
Yeah, moving on. We'll just...
Season 3 is going to happen sometime soon.
Hopefully soon.
Because, I mean, we've got those Liberator
It's
and
going...
Eradicator trial decks on the horizon.
It might have a different opening altogether.
It could. I mean, not that Vanguard fight isn't awesome.
It is really,
It's
really good. It's
might just be
they might
bad
not,
if they tried translating it.
or they might not be able to convince them to sing the song again in English.
Yeah, either way. So we'll see what happens there.
Maybe we'll just start with Daigo. Just singing in English.
What are all these cards?
Yes.
Oh, no idea, Mo. Man. And we don't see them for half a year. Everyone's baffled. But no, it should be starting soon. We've got those trial decks on the horizon. Although the odd thing, Booster 10 and 11 have been switched for reasons of production issues.
Whatever, sure.
Well, that's really, really hard to believe. Like, what could possibly prevent you from doing
Did someone break
one?
into your factory and burn all your Booster 10 cards? What? It's like...
I don't get it.
It's like, yeah. They should just tell the truth. They switched them because it makes more sense this way.
It gives you a chance to play your new Celestials and Seal Dragons and whatnot without having to worry about getting completely dominated by Eradicators. Oh yeah, and Aquaforce. It's actually sort of still fresh in people's minds, so...
It's, it's like, because these are coming out like a month at a time, these sets here, as opposed to like, what, 2 months with every other thing?
3,
Well, point
between
is,
main booster sets in Japan anyway.
that's what I mean. There's a time difference there. Here, it's not much of a time difference. We're getting stuff every month.
No one would care about this set if it was placed in the original order. So I guess it works. It's just a tad shady.
Tad shady because they're lying. Just tell us the truth, Bushiroad. We can handle it.
I mean, if that is the truth, explain further, please.
If it's not the truth, explain further, please. What the hell could have possibly happened for your production problems? That didn't happen for Booster 11.
So yeah.
Yes, anyway. Continue.
Your Dauntless Drive Dragons and your whatnot.
Yeah, it's going to be cool.
might see a surge in dote price for no particular
Yep,
reason.
a quick surge, and then it'll probably drop back down.
Because, I mean, anything on Dauntless is good. Even Crested Dragon.
Yes. Yeah, it doesn't matter what you play on Dauntless. It's going to be good.
Like, if it were me, I'd just rather play a rear guard that pressures so that one big turn is godly.
Or you could be
I.e.
silly
Draconic Overlord.
and blanket Goku on top.
4 chances to retire at grade 1? Bueno. But no, it's a pretty bad combination. Although it does follow the line of thinking that, you don't get your main plan, oh, you've got something good. And
It
on
is
that
true.
grounds, Dote isn't, like, terrible with it or anything.
It's what are you going to
get a good
do?
ride either way.
It's like, what are you going to do when you do it? Stand?
No.
He already does that.
You're not allowed to Dote first.
You got a Dauntless
You
first?
got a Dauntless first, so which
Yes,
obviously means
means
you've either won or they're blocking your actual Dote swing. That matters, so it's just whatever. You're not any better than any other card.
yeah. And whether people realize that or not, it's not in our hands, but chances are it'll show itself when people use it and then start not doing much better than they were
Cut
doing
the
before.
fluff. Just play Blockade Inferno. That's actually a card.
And done. But we'll see what happens when it comes. Needless to say, we got rid of our Dotes because we knew this was going to happen.
Genesis is kind of out of luck
This
for
is-
another couple months.
It's blocked out of the party.
Granted, you do get the chance to pick up their 4 best cards.
Just like the rest of the
Ahead
Beast
of time?
deities.
Yeah, Beast Deities are kind of screwed by this move too. Oh well, no one was playing them anyway, apparently.
It seems so. But it's extreme, Elliot.
Extreme!
Which we did not mention last time.
We didn't, but we don't know anything about it.
Yep, so whatever. It don't matter.
Actually, that was a pretty clan light set, if I recall.
It was. So I guess it's on to Booster 10.
Wow. Game nuke the set.
Yeah.
Because, you get your Gauntlet Buster and your Dragonic Descendant and pretty much everything that makes the Eradicator's cancer.
Yeah, it's gonna be a weird adventure.
Spike Bros.
Oh yeah, Spike Bros are gonna be screwed by the fact that they don't get anything until Booster 10. But when they do,
Well, it is a deck. It's just keep it away from the Eradicators.
yeah,
Good luck.
Yeah, for a while, good luck with that. But don't worry, they may or may not get their comeuppance depending on what happens in the future.
They've got good matchups against basically everything that doesn't retire.
So basically, just keep it away from Goku and Eradicators.
Whatever else.
Yeah, I guess you could keep it away from those nasty blaster blades. It's
Don't worry, they'll get their time to shine when Lake Joker rolls around.
yeah, it'll
Like
make
we've said
them.
before.
Yeah, we said it before, but it's still a point. It's still a point. This game's my paper scissor effect is amazing in how it works out. It doesn't guarantee you the win, but it gives you a chance. And as long as you can exploit it, well, then you just made your deck happy.
I just feel like we've been over all the new cards in these sets at
Well,
some point.
we've been over them at some point. We're just recapping. It's for people who may not have
Dudley Mason.
seen it. Oh yeah, the crutch.
Just
Yes.
go. Jelly Beans is now best card.
Yep. All of a sudden, ratios. What are they?
They mean nothing. Liberators
Yeah.
that no one cares about.
Liberators are just kind of there.
But they'll be played because their Eradicator matchup is okay.
Yeah.
Uh,
It's all.
Xbox center line.
I think that's really all from that we really need to cover. I think it's.
Sad Panda. I guess I'll have to wait for a Genesis of it. Not that
Right.
I'm
That
playing it a lot
it's-
recently anyways.
Because that's another thing that we got learned. They don't have any intentions on giving us a list. At least not right now.
Yeah,
It's
if I can keep playing for Full Moon in my Suki deck, I don't really care that much.
yeah. But it's probably gonna be like that forever,
Oh,
because
well, I mean, we're not Japan.
Yeah, because unlike Japan,
Apparently.
because unlike Japan, no one uses full moon here. In fact, during the regionals and the nationals of the team league, as far as we saw,
like, the only
no
one in the
one,
building.
only one in the building using the moons, as far as we could see. It's like no one
If
used.
anything,
Yes,
you're gonna
yes.
put the brakes on Coco.
Yeah, Coco.
Even though they don't
It's
really have to.
funnily enough, it's that man. Well, Doe doesn't need to. He's already kind of on its way out. Just
MLB has
normal.
had
Yes.
like the worst
The
showing.
worst showing ever.
here.
Jesus, it loses so much here. It's like, remember when we were talking about MLB and how dangerous it was gonna be, and then
I mean, it is.
it's like is dangerous
have so
on
many-
paper, but it's like everything in the world can stop it. It's like once you know
and
it's
you've got like all these bad players
yes,
too.
and bad players, and it's a matter of once you know what it does and know how to fight it, it's not much of a thing you gotta worry about.
Yeah, they'll
Yes,
always do what
yes.
they do, but you can.
Yes, it's
cope.
like I
17 has
I-
never really been hard to hit. 22 is another story, but
there's things that
no
can do
one's
it.
ever really
Yeah.
done that.
Oh, Palamedes can do it. Yeah.
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 And like,
Yes. It's like
on that note, Alfred is in everything apparently.
yeah, Alf. Yeah, no matter what the deck is, if it's a paladin, Alfred. So,
Which is a strange
it's-
contrast to what we've seen
Yeah.
up until now.
Yeah. So he may or may not be later on, depending on what goes on, because everyone uses him because he's good. I don't remember who else was on that list prior, but needless to say, most of those things don't do it here. So it's probably going to be hard
You've
to do.
got pretty
It's,
good diversity going.
in fact, I wouldn't be surprised if that's what they stand-up things are secretly for. Stand up in the team league thing,
Probably.
or just to sort of gauge what kind of list we should make for us.
And they already
Yes.
said, nah,
Yes.
we're not doing
Yes.
it. So,
Yeah, so it's we'll see what happens in the future, but for now at least, decks are safe.
keep playing what you want to play. The only thing that's in like immediate danger is Dote, maybe.
It's dope, but that's from the progression of the game, even at this point, because it's like, yes, it looks like he's a tyranny, but then you got these brake rides coming out that will run over his face, and you got things that can already.
Everyone else's feet.
It's like, yeah,
You don't really, I mean, it's broke now,
it's rogue now,
but
but
if
it's,
natural progression takes care of it,
then it won't even.
Whatever.
Then it won't even matter. It's
and that's
freaking.
the story for most things. People have gotten
Yes.
over their Tom fear.
Yeah, I remember freaking Tom was like the most terrifying thing on the planet. And now it's like, I'm gonna kill that thing. Get it out of here, and I'll just attack with my other stuff in your face. It's crazy how that works. No one seems to have gotten rid of their Tejas fear though. People are still afraid of that thing. It's the strangest thing.
Yeah, I mean, hell, there are way more gold paladins here than there really ever have been in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know, people picked it up when it was the thing to play. Because, you know, boosters 1 and 2 compared to boosters 6. They're just kind of
1,
worlds
2,
apart.
6. It was, yeah. It just basically forced people to just play because it was there. It had everything you needed. I'm like,
Easy to build.
and easy to build. It was like, well, what are you expecting to
And
happen? Yes.
so you got plenty of lingering gold paladin.
Yeah, it's gonna probably stick around forever. just because of that. It's like my first deck sort of thing, you know.
And like you get all these cross rides running around because people think cross ride automatically good.
Crossride's automatically good. Get curb stomped by Alfred. Show how old school can work.
Yeah, plenty of like the blood glory mails from out there. Although glory is not going to last very long, I assure you.
Nah.
What was this video about again? It feels like
we were really drifting away from the point.
kind of.
But it's still the same point. It's
yeah,
like upcoming things and what we think about them. It's just we are really harping on the possibilities of the future.
The game is evolving.
It's evolving at a pretty decent pace, some at the time.
And like in a good way. Some things drift out, some drift back in.
It seems they are making an emphasis on nothing stays not good forever, unless they're just truly bad cards.
Imperial Daughter. Skype.
Got any other coughs you gotta get out of there?
Cosmo Lord. That wasn't even. It's just, yeah, some cards are just irreparably bad. And
It's just
no
gotta
one
deal with it.
cares.
But anyway, after Booster 10, do we know anything? Yes. That's like what, January?
Right, some sort of extra
Oh
trial
yeah,
deck.
it's an extra trial deck, mind you.
That is speculated to just be a rebranding of Special Set Daigo.
Because who gives a crap about Daigo here?
Just
Am I
replace
right?
his paraphernalia with other things that might be useful. Because they have said this is some sort of gift
It's
set
like a
that comes with deck accessories and whatnot.
Christmas and stuff.
Yeah.
Which is actually the first.
Depending, it might be pretty cool.
Might be cool because it would be the first like Bushiroad gift set that you got. Like
it'll be the first English exclusive product.
And that too. Like if you guys remember back in the time when Yu-Gi-Oh actually cared about its customers, and it would make occasionally like little things where you get like a bunch of cards, a box, maybe some candy or whatever in it. It's like if it's something like that, that'd be cool. I mean,
well, that's the rest of the year. It's basically all we're probably going to get. Though we can easily speculate that Booster 12 might wander around in January, February, something like that.
it's possible.
And turn the game on its head, where it belongs.
It is. The game is a Hitmontop.
I can just see him dancing around in the Vanguard circle, not giving a shit.
And yeah, I think that's like all the main stuff that we know of coming out here. It's like nothing like huge and huge. There is one other thing I almost forgot we should probably mention. We do know that we are getting that fall season of tournaments.
The World Championship 2013 or whatever.
I think it's 2013. Yeah. It's
same places as last year.
At the very least,
Basically
same cities.
Same time frame too.
I don't know if they'll be in the same hotels as last time, but
well, yeah, I wouldn't mind. Ours was good.
I'm not saying that it wasn't good. I'm saying I don't know if they thought that far ahead to book the exact same places as last time.
But we'll see.
We'll see what happens. If it is, that's great because it's not that far away.
There are singles events, so if nothing else, they won't be quite as hectic as the team will be.
And then you watch when we get there. Half of the room is taken up by freaking Vice Swords. Like at the Nationals for a team. Keep it classy.
Please, no. Either way, I mean, I have my hopes for that.
Yeah, I have hopes for that. And there is one other thing we should definitely mention, because it may or may not matter depending on how it is. Future card buddy fight. It's coming around the corner too.
Well, yeah, I'm steering away from Vanguard for a moment.
Yeah, but not too much.
New game by Bushiroad. I mean, they work in card games, so it's only natural that there was going to be another one.
Yep, it's called Future Card Buddy Fight. It's
like
marketed
towards elementary school boys.
i.e. what Yu-Gi-Oh is marketed to, so it'll naturally be played
by adults. We don't really know a whole lot about it, except for the fact that simultaneous English and Japanese releases starting in January 2014.
Yep.
Plus manga and anime series to go with it.
Maybe they'll actually air on TV. They might actually be caring more about getting it international this time from what we've been seeing.
I mean, it's clearly set up in a way that's independent. It's its own thing, and they can do whatever the hell they want with it.
Exactly. And it's going under the same like chain of events that the card games have been doing. It might just play like a more refined Vanguard.
It could.
It could.
I mean,
because Vanguard's essentially a more refined Vice Swords.
I don't really know how.
I don't know.
Prove it, but
well,
hey,
if they get rid of
it.
One easy way to do it would get the grid system out of there. It's like it seems like that's like the main thing.
Slow down your power cards.
I don't know. It's like there's things they can do. We won't know until then. The only thing we really know is
it's supposed to be simple, and apparently you become like friends with monsters and whatever.
Yep. So you hear that, guys? We're getting Monster Rancher back.
I mean, it's probably going to be another one of those all-creature games, you know, like this one.
It probably is.
To keep things.
Now I haven't seen the artwork from it, any artwork from it yet, but you said you have.
Oh, let's
and from what you've told me, it's very basic.
Yeah, I mean, like Animal Kaiser if it weren't real animals.
Wow, it really is like Animal Kaiser. Is that a skateboarding? I'm not really sure what it is.
It's marketed towards kids, so they have to do extreme things.
Yeah, I'm starting to see why you didn't.
Very Zexel.
Yeah, it's very Zexel.
Unfortunately.
Or Zeal, whatever you want to say about it. That artwork makes me half sad, but only half sad.
If it plays well, then who cares?
It's like it's kind of artwork where it won't deter me from at least making a deck from it.
Yeah, I mean,
so it can at least
it'll be easy. Just buy a trial deck.
I mean, yeah,
that's how all their games work. And
buy a trial deck and any extra cards you might need. Just make one deck and you at least have it to play with, because it's not like what I was fearing it was going to look like. I thought it was going to be like everything in the game was going to look like Toy Poogle and Wingull alt art.
Well, there's still time for that.
But, so that's something else to look forward. It's not Vanguard, but it might be, if you catch my drift.
It's still got the dumbest name
ever. It's still got a really stupid name, Future Card Fight. What does that even mean? Like, I know Card Fight Vanguard is...
strongest card game of the century.
Like I know how weird freaking Card Fight Vanguard sounds, but at least it does have 8 points.
Yeah.
You are the card fighters, and you have a Vanguard that you fight with. It's like
it has a more relevant meaning than Weiss Schwarz.
Yeah, it definitely has
which
more.
Which is literally just German for white black.
Yeah, that freaking tells me everything I need to know. And as far as Future Card Buddy Fight, it's better than Weiss Schwarz in terms of name, but what does that mean? Is it just it's supposed to be extreme? Well, it's obviously supposed to be extreme, but
fight alongside your monster buddies, man.
In the future?
Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. We'll see.
We'll see what happens.
Not counting it out yet.
We're not gonna count it out. It could be great, or it could be like those other games that you mentioned about from Bushiroad.
Monster Collection.
Yes.
Chaos and Victory Spark. The games no one plays.
Yeah, it could be like one of those games. We don't know. It seems they have some confidence with this one though.
They do.
Because they're advertising it at least for, more than they are freaking Vanguard here. And that might be the thing. They might have swindled us. by making Vanguard their test here to see how their games
That
work.
It could be.
And if it's true, then this game better be worth it.
It could take off like wildfire for all we know.
It has a higher chance if they air their show here on TV as well as on their site.
I think they mentioned live streaming on YouTube or something already.
Well, I guess live streaming works too, but it's a weird thing to think about, but it still rings true. Lots of kids watch TV. I know the idea of anybody watching TV is crazy, but they still do. So it is a good practice for at least kid shows to put your stuff on television, because they'll see it either by doing it themselves, or their parents will sit them down to do stuff while they're working.
You've got this natural card game progression.
Yeah. I mean, that's how Yu-Gi-Oh! Hit its way off, and even for Duel Masters for a while before it started getting crazy.
Bushiroad's learning,
It's like,
at least in terms of marketing.
Tournament
They still got
needs
that
work.
one other problem.
Tournament setup needs more work. More work.
Well, I guess that just about covers things.
It covers it for this one.
Our side.
Hopefully we'll get another good amount of dumps sometime in the future that we can just talk about again. Hopefully it won't be like bazillion things at a single time.
Oh, it probably will be around Christmas time. Because after we get all the goodies, they have to tell us about more goodies.
More and more stuff all the time. But we'll see about that when it happens. So until next time, this is Root TV signing off.